Hey guys, it's day 9, and we catch up with Jesus as he's leaving the temple. As he's leaving the temple, outside of the temple is this courtyard where lots of people who are disabled are. They're lame, blind, deaf, but they're there to beg money from people who are leaving the temple. And verse 1, we find it says, as he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And so it was a common belief that if someone was disabled, or even if someone was sick, it was God getting them back. You've been bad, and so this is God's way of getting you back for the things that you've done, the sins that you've committed. But this man was blind from birth, so the disciples were like, so when did he have opportunity to sin? I mean, did he sin while he was inside of his mom? Or is he paying for the sins of his parents? But I love the way that Jesus replies to it. It says, it is not that this man has sinned or his parents, but that the work of God may be displayed in him. And that's something for all of us to understand. A lot of times we feel like that God heals someone because he loves them more, or that they have more faith, or that maybe they've been better. But realistically, God heals because of his glory. You see, Jesus didn't love this man any more than he loved all the people in that courtyard. But God was going to be glorified through this man. So Jesus heals him. Jesus actually spits in the ground, and he makes mud in the dirt with his spit and puts it in the guy's eye. Now, I don't know why he did this. I mean, earlier he just healed a guy just by speaking to him. But this is the way he's doing it at this point. He tells the guy to go wash in the pool of Siloam. The guy washes, he comes back, he's healed. But here he is running around all of Jerusalem, and everybody remembers him, explaining how he's been healed, how Jesus has healed him. Well, this doesn't make the religious people any happier. The Pharisees are very upset because of the fact this is giving credit now to Jesus, the one they were debating. So they want to put an end to this. And that's where we catch up. Verse 13, it says, they brought him to the Pharisees, who was formerly blind. Now, it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. And so where they're hanging up is, they're not excited that this guy he can see. He's been blind all his life, now he can see. They're not happy for him. No, they're upset because they believe that Jesus making mud with his spit is the same thing as like kneading dough. And they said you can't knead dough on the Sabbath because that's considered work. So that's their hang up, is that he made mud in the dirt with his saliva. And so realistically, what they're trying to do is find a point to discredit Jesus again. But there's nothing they can do. Everybody sees this man that Jesus heals. You can't debate with the things that you see with your eyes. And so they're trying to discredit him. So they bring in his parents and say, hey, can you tell us, is this your son? And they're almost threatening his parents, because his parents know that if they want to, they can kick his parents out of the temple. Now, that's not like being kicked out of a church. When you're kicked out of a temple, you're kicked out of the entire Jewish nation. And so it's almost a threat. So the parents didn't really answer anything other than, yes, this is our son, and yes, he was born blind. So the Pharisees, it says, verse 16, some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. But the others said, how can this man who is a sinner do such signs? And there was division among them. And the people are like, yeah, but he just healed this guy. He must be from God. But the religious leaders are still trying to fight it. So they bring the guy in again, and they're wanting to say, hey, no, Jesus didn't heal me, but what could he say? So this is what it says in verse 24. It says, so for the second time they called the man in who had been blind and said to him, give glory to God. We know that this man is a sinner. And so they're saying, give glory to God. Give glory to God. In other words, say, hey, don't say that Jesus healed you when you know that he did. So isn't that more of a sin than saying that this guy actually made mud in the dirt. But they're asking him to discount the fact that he's been healed by Jesus. But I love the way the man responds. He said, whether he is a sinner, I do not know. One thing I do know, that though I was blind, I now see. And that is the great miracle of meeting Jesus for all of us spiritually. We may be blind to the things of life and to sin, but when we meet Jesus, we can see and we're set free. And this story gives a really big amount of credit to who Jesus was and the love he portrays, and the fact that once again, he's displaying he is indeed the Son of God. I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 10. Have a great day.